What is your best witch cackle like? Is it anything like this? Yeah. Alright. Welcome back to the Ruby Tuesday. My name is Ruben. We're doing a review for a Netflix original movie that actually came out in Spain in 2019. On IMDb, it's called Coven. On Netflix, it's called Coven of Sisters. And it does have another Spanish name, which I'm not even going to try. Let me know in the comments below, have you heard of this film? Are you interested to check it out? I hope you are after watching this review. Do give me a thumbs up, it helps a lot with the analytics. Chat down in the comments below. But for now, let's jump into this witchy review. Basque Country, 1609. The men of the region are at sea and Amia takes part for the first time in the nightly dance in the woods with the other village girls. She is only 20. At dawn they are all arrested. This film is only an hour and a half, but I will say it is very much a slow burn. And so we have three parts that this film is kind of centered on. We have the intro with the young girls. We see them atop this like little village atop of like a cliff, but it's really high, so it looks really dangerous as this like Mufasa Simba cliff. You know, everything the light touches is yours, Simba. That sort of cliff. The men are at sea, and so the women are weaving, doing what they do, you know, to kind of keep the village running, while the men go and, you know, catch fish, that sort of thing, make the money, come back. It takes them a while. We have like the beginnings of a shot with the ship out towards sea. And then we have the Inquisition style guys with their soldiers and the priests and the judge. I say judge. And the majority of the film takes place with these young ladies in a jail cell, and they're basically being tortured in various ways. They've been asked about a Sabbath, the witches' Sabbath. And just inferring, just, you know, that whole kind of thing about whether they're witches, and if they're a witch, you know, they won't burn, but if they do burn, then I guess they weren't a witch. If they don't burn, they were a witch. If they don't drown, they were a witch, but if they do drown, then you kind of go, oh, it's that sort of thing, where they're just kind of presuming, and so they're asking all these questions. But what happens along the line is the girls kind of realize that they know that they're guilty. You'll get this from the trailer. They know they're guilty regardless of not. They need to kind of create a persona, and it's this journey that you go along with them as they start embracing the beliefs of what these people are saying, the judge specifically saying that they're trying to figure out a way out. So they want to embrace the witchiness, they want to do all of that. There's two things about this film that reminds me. One, the opening shots remind me of A, The Wicker Man, and B, The Crucible. Let me know in the comments below which you thought it reminded you of most in that opening shot, The Wicker Man or The Crucible. Anyway, I digress. There's two things about this film that I think are very good, even though it's a massively slow burn. The cinematography, it's stunning to look at. Literally from day shots to night shots, the way it illuminates their faces, their specific fire lighting scenes, you know, close up. It's just a beautiful to look at film. It places you in the zone, and I think that's great. The other thing is the acting. I thought the acting from the females themselves was really good. There is a lot of dialogue to read because I don't speak Spanish, so you kind of have to read a lot of dialogue, but you get the inflections and the tones from the actors and the turmoil they're going through. It feels very crucible in that way for the most part of the film. And so we have three parts, as I was mentioning. We have that beginning intro, we have that the large middle chunk of the film, and then we have that ending. I think the ending is going to leave a lot of people feeling, okay, that's it. And once again, with this review, I will talk about the ending at the end and try and do what I think it happened or what I explained. I kept wanting the film, though, to kind of go in another direction. I was hoping there was going to be a certain like payoff or a twist, but really it's just about this Inquisition and the immorality of the fact that they're being questioned and they're being made to think that they're these like Satan worshippers, Lucifer worshippers, but for all intents and purposes, the people that are actually asking them the questions seem more dodgy, or absolutely are more dodgy than the girls themselves. The girls aren't dodgy at all, but it shows like a juxtaposition. So it's very interesting to reflect and think about as you're watching it. Beautifully filmed, beautifully acted, but it does conjure up grievances. You're just like, oh, I wish I could help them in some way. And if it's conjuring that sort of emotion while you're watching it, if you allow yourself to get involved with the film, then I think it's doing its job. I also think a lot of people might switch off in the first half because of that slow drawing out. You're wondering if anything else is going to happen, or the like the interview process. Each girl goes into a room and they ask her questions, and some girls are treated more harshly than others without doing spoilers. And so, like the first half of the film, you may be going, "Is this it?" There is a final climax scene, which is kind of the payoff for the film. I guess that's how most film works. Visually it's stunning and you're wondering, wow, where's this going? And so by the time you hit that end, like I said, I think it's gonna split audiences. For those that have seen it, I think if you're in Spain or have seen it at film festivals, you'll know that it's won quite a few awards just for the visual spectacularness of it. How it looks, stunning. I will say though, I thought it was very slow, and I'm still not quite sure how I feel about the ending. So maybe that's a good thing because it gets you discussing the film. For a film that's a one-time watch, I thought it was alright. I'm going to give it a B because I think visually it's great. But because I'm not decided on the ending and I'm still not sure how I feel about the film, I wanted to go another way. I can't justify giving it a higher rating than that. But do let me know in the comments below what you thought about this film. What did you think of, what did you think about it? It's reminding you of things like The Crucible or other similar witchy films. We've had it done before, but I do think it was put together quite well. It doesn't overstay its welcome. The hour and a half is a welcome length of time, even though it does feel long, because it does, it's one of those lengthy, slow moving films that you kind of have to give yourself to. I'm going to talk about the ending, so this is your spoiler warning. If you don't want any spoilers for the film, now's the time to depart. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. Ending. I wanted you was all. So the ending, we have the girls dancing around. They look like they're embracing the Lucifer fakeness of who the judge expects them to be, and that whole scene was visually beautifully done. Dancing around. The little girl that is a contortionist was fantastic. I thought she was great. Biting her hand while her head is like upside down in between her body. That was very cool. And then the juxtaposition that comes in again with how they've kind of reflected their story and controlled the judge. Because in the end, with his black cloak and his beard, the story that she's concocted, the one that was kind of creating this way, maybe for a way for them to escape, he looks like Lucifer, or the Lucifer she was depicting. And he totally wanted to have sex with them or something like that. It seemed like he was embracing it. He was very much wanting to be there, very much the dodgy person on hand. So it's like, just swapping that around. I thought that was very interesting. Anyway, we see them run off, and you think maybe they're going to get away. They're still in the chains, and they reach the end of their cliff. And all the soldiers, suddenly the soldiers have multiplied again. We thought maybe there were a few less because a couple have run away because they heard the sailors might be coming back. They've been trying to buy themselves time because of the moon. They're hoping that their men are coming back and they're going to stop the sailors and stop what's going on, basically. Stop the nonsense, stop the madness. And I was hoping at some point that they were actually going to be revealed to be real witches and, either kill all the soldiers and go off and do what they need to. But then they turn around and say, let's fly. But you don't actually see them jump. It just cuts from the judge saying, then fly. And it shows us the torch and nothing there. So we left thinking, okay, so they must have jumped, but we didn't hear any splashes. With that amount of people, I'd imagine that you did hear. But I think they're letting us know that they just landed in the water and drowned. Or they were and they flew off. That would be a nice, happy thinking, oh, they're actually witches and they can fly and they got over. But if that was the case, they would have done something sooner, probably. I don't think there's any way they could have survived. It looks like they died. Let me know in the comments what you thought. That was the ending I was talking about. It just ends right from that moment, from the torch, and you're like, they're not going to show us anything, not going to tell us anything. I guess it is a good ending in that way. It kind of leaves you going, I guess they died, but we don't see it, we don't hear anything. What happened, man? Let me know in the comments what you wish would happen, what you thought would happen. If you are looking for a more supernatural type film or a witchy film, I've got one here from Amazon, and I've also got one here from Netflix, so I hope you enjoy those. Check out those reviews there. You may find something that you enjoy, but thanks so much for watching this. Until next time, remember, live long and Tuesday.